Everybody is psychic. Everybody.
If I see them over here, it means they're visiting. If I see them behind somebody's chair, it means they're with them. Well, you definitely are somebody that, in your mind, when somebody's crossed over and they're around you, you can feel it. And you talk about it.
There was a very strong connection that you had with somebody. It feels like it could have been a grandfather, like a paternal grandfather. I think there are people who think that the whole thing can be canned. Then they're not really open to their own intuition, are they?
All right, let's get to our audience readings today. And the first reading is Jenny Herring from Forest Lake. So come on in here, Jenny.
Your dad on the other side? Is your dad on the other side? Because
Yes.
I'm feeling the energy of a man on the other side. He brings you things. I don't know if he liked coffee or not, but they keep giving me the smell of coffee with your dad. So he does that with you. And, I don't feel your mom's still on this side?
No.
Well, I don't see them standing together, which doesn't mean they're in a fight.
No,
Just
they're
means,
not together.
Okay, that's why. All right.
They work together when they...
They're not together over there either. So she's over here, and she's saying hi, and he's over here, and he's more verbal. He's actually more outgoing about how he feels. And they're referencing a record player with a little dark record that you used to play with when you were little.
Yes.
Someone stepped on it. Someone stepped on one of them, and you got very upset.
Okay, you go now, because I want to hear about that real fast.
Okay, what's the deal with the record?
Well, when I was about 3 years old, it was a 45, and my sister didn't like the song that I was playing, so she took it off of the record player and stepped on it.
So just say your first name.
Vicky.
Okay, so I don't know if this is your dad or your grandfather. Is your father on the other side? Somebody, again with the dancing, but somebody's being very silly behind you and really loose and just making lots of jokes, and even he's trying to put like those big noses on and the little mustache and being very funny. He enjoys your joy. His joy is even accelerated over there because of your joy. So you think about that when you've lost somebody that you love and you feel like they didn't get enough time here, that your joy, they can feel your joy.
Good.
Yes.
Mention is I can still see that you're kind of shaken up a little bit.
Yeah, well, my dad's been gone for about 10 years, and he was a jokester. He loved clowning around, and he was full of joy, so.
And so how do you feel about this reading? What does it mean for you when you hear something like that?
Well, it's just nice to know that he's still around and kind of watching over me.
And so many of my clients have never seen a psychic before, nor would they have ever thought that they would see a psychic. And that, in part, is because there's an illusion around what that means to be psychic. And again, everybody is psychic. There are people who are well-trained in this, who have these abilities to tap into that universal bank of knowledge and bring information through. And you know that feeling you get when somebody says something, you're like, I knew that about myself. Or I knew that was coming. That higher part of you knew it. A good psychic can bring that part of you up and help you recognize that there's so many things that you knew that you weren't conscious of, and it makes you more conscious.
Great.
Wow, that was deep.
The family of a missing woman has asked for Jodi's help. And if you were watching us on September 22nd, the story might sound a little bit familiar.
I have 6 sisters, and Tammy's one of the oldest ones. She was a hard worker, good mom, great sister, smart, funny, loved to play darts, outgoing.
15 years ago, 30-year-old Tammy Bradley disappeared.
I worked with her back then, so some of our coworkers saw her leave work at 3:30 Friday afternoon, like she normally does, and that was the last she was seen. And so they knew that Tammy didn't drive her car. And then child support checks and all her paycheck and everything was still in her car, untouched.
Tammy's car was found at a bus depot in Minneapolis, but she hasn't been seen or heard from since.
After 7 years, when she's declared legally dead, you just, you have to wonder if anything will ever come of it, and you have to come to the certain terms that you'll probably never find anything out.
Tammy's family still hopes they can find their daughter, sister, and mother, but they aren't the only ones looking for answers. Anita Moyer volunteers for the Doe Network, researching cold cases. Anita appeared on Twin Cities Live in September to talk about Tammy's case.
Yep, in fact, at the end of this month, September 30th, Tammy would have been missing for 15 years. She was missing September 30th. She's from Blaine.
Psychic and medium Jodi Livon also appeared on Twin Cities Live that day for an unrelated segment. Tammy's sister contacted the show's producers as soon as it was over, asking if Jodi would meet with her.
So I emailed, not even thinking anything would come of it. just to see if there might be something. You know, if Jodi knows something, anything, that might click to put closure. I'm not expecting anything, but I'm hoping.
You should know that when I was in the green room, waiting to go on Twin Cities Live, there was a person sitting there that had some information, and her hand just folded. And I left the room because I was so compelled to grab the paper. And I came back and I asked her for it, and I took it, and it was your sister. And I really believe your sister has encouraged me to do this. The feeling I'm getting about her is that she was a little naive, but she wasn't stupid.
Just trustworthy.
Yes. And I don't know if she got lost or somebody wanted something and she was either asking for help or trying to help. It feels like she might have been she's a helper anyway. And she just keeps saying she's real sorry. I feel like she took a wrong turn or she's made some sort of a mistake and it just turned into this nightmare for you. And you're Lynn?
No. How'd you know that?
Because I hear the name Lynn.
I have a sister named Lynn.
Were they a lot alike?
They were the closest together.
Yeah, she's talking about Lynn. But your sister has this humor feeling toward this Lynn. Like really, like they cracked each other up. Like they were sort of a little silly about this, that they would just giggle and giggle and... Well,
what about her son? What does she feel for him?
She's entertained by him. She thinks he's really cute. The picture I get is that she's always liked to watch him walk. And I don't know, and I keep doing this, so I don't know if he...
Drags his feet?
Something like that, like this particular walk, and there's a reference to the dad in the walk as well.
He does. He walks like his dad.
There you go. She likes the way he smells. She likes his neck, the right side of his neck. And sometimes when he sleeps, she lays next to him. Her love is very much alive. I don't know that she is physically, but that she wants you guys to be okay and to be at peace. And she keeps drawing a circle, like complete that circle. And she's okay.
I bet she would be no matter what. So.
Yeah, she's really okay. And she really wants you to know she's okay. And she wants the rest of them to know that.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You earlier gave her 2 pictures of people that you love.
Yep.
And
Pictures,
people you hate.
Yep.
And they're in those envelopes.
Things. Pictures or things, and they're in those envelopes. So we'll tell you what they are. So the things that I love, one are my sisters, Katie and Jenny, who I just went to see in New York. There they are. And
so happy.
The other thing that I really love, Henry, who we just saw. And then things I dislike, Adolf Hitler was kind of the first thing that came to mind. Isn't that weird? That's the first thing I thought of this morning.
Really?
It was strange.
Well,
I don't know what's going on.
Not a real likable guy.
No, not very likable. And then the other thing I really don't like is tripe.
Okay, so the first thing you do when you do anything like this is you picture a big white light all around you.
Okay.
And I say a prayer.
Okay.
And then...
Should I close my eyes?
Close your eyes.
Okay.
And I'm going to hand you the envelope right now.
This is a good thing.
Open it up.
I think it's a good thing.
I think it's a good thing. You get a good vibe? It's Henry! So 1 for 1. So what made you think that was a good thing?
Well, see, this is the thing. When it's very weird. It sounds weird. I'm not like thinking about it really. Right. I just feel it like, you know when you feel something bad happening, like you hear bad news, you kind of feel it like in the pit of your stomach?
Yeah.
This is the opposite. It was
a good feeling.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know.
Now, before we get too excited, you did have a 1 and 2 shot there. So I want to see the next one.
Okay.
There's several.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see.
Right there.
I might be wrong.
Clear your energy.
Clear that energy.
Here's your next envelope.
I think this one's bad.
Why?
Because I just feel like it's bad.
Don't question your intuition.
Yeah. Are you nervous to open it up?
It's tripe.
It's tripe.
That was good. You're good.